will help us to achieve. Okay. And this is just a rough idea of how we can save up funds. £1,000 is just £100 every month put aside for 10 months. A lot of us spend £100 on one single night out. If we go out on a Friday night or a Saturday night, we spend £100 easily and we don't think about it. However, if they tell you save the money, then you start complaining, I have bill, I have this, I have that, I have that. Do you know that £10,000 is £500 a month for 20 months?
20 months? Oh yeah.
£500 a month for 20 months. And people will say, actually, oh my God, that's a lot of money. How can I afford that? Actually, it's possible. And I was saying this to some of the girls the other day, and they're like, oh, it's not possible, Lake, to save that sort of money. I said, it's possible. They said, no, Lake, it's not possible. I'm only £1,000. How can I save 500? Are you crazy? I said, it's possible. They said, no, it's not possible. I said, it's possible. And I said to them, I know someone who lived in my house rent-free for 5 years. 5 years he lived in my house rent-free. I was paying the rent. He was working. He was making money. And he had savings. He wasn't spending the money. He was working. But some of us, the moment you get your first check, you want to move out of your mom and your dad's house. Please. You talk too much. Every time, I'm going to get my own flat. That's it. But actually, do you need? You have to think about, this person lived 5 years in my house rent-free. And the person was working, earning £1,000, £1,002. They were saving £600 to £700 a month. I was surprised when I saw the bank statement. I was like, huh? Even me that I'm working, I'm paying all these bills, I don't have this type of money. How did you do this? Then I started learning. I learned. That was a very young person. I learned. I said, if you can achieve this, then I'm being stupid. Because I'm the one paying the rent of all of this place. But I only sleep there like, I'm never even in my house. I'm always working. They're the ones enjoying watching all the TV and the subscription. I said, okay. Then I said, okay, I've got 2 bedroom. So one room rented out, another room rented out, we share the living room. It's true. Because the person taught me something I didn't know, even after my years of experience in business. You have to look for opportunities. Opportunities with everything that we do. I'm not saying that you should save £1,000. I'm however saying to you, there are opportunities there. It's not every time we have to spend. Okay? And these are some of the things that just that little bit of money can do to us. Yeah. £5,000 can pay for a master's degree after saving the 20 months. So we don't need to take student finance. £1,000 can buy a decent car, so you don't have to take a £5,000 car loan and pay that over 5 years. £10,000 savings, deposit on a house in Kent. Yeah? Or even build a house in my village, where I come from. With £10,000, you could probably build a house. I saw something on Facebook the other day. Someone said, oh, some girls, they're buying Brazilian hair for XYZ millions. And that is the same amount it's going to cost to buy a land in their village. But it is true. It was a joke, but actually it is true. So some people are carrying a phone of, when the phone comes out, they want to be the first to buy it, and they will die and kill themselves to buy it. But actually, that same amount of money will start them up on a business. But 6 months later, when the next phone comes out, they're there, they're buying it, but they're broke. How do you get the latest phone if you're broke? I don't understand it. I don't really understand it. It's good to save money, but then when you save, you need to have what we call an exit point. So I save for 6 months, I invest. I save for 1 year, I invest. I save for 3 months, I invest. The wise man puts his money in investment. The man who is not wise will save £500 every month until he retires. He's going to have maybe 60, 70, maybe 80, maybe £100,000 in his bank account. But the wise man, as they've already told you today, who invests his money, in 20 years' time, he would have 5, 10, 15 million sitting down there. And the interesting thing is he will not have to work anymore. So you have to have an exit point. So I say to myself, I work hard for 6 months, take the money out and invest in something. It doesn't matter if I'm going to get the money back or not. But it's an investment. So I know this money is gone in there. Even if it's £50 a month I'm getting for it, it's an investment. So that means I most likely will never lose my capital. My capital is always guaranteed. So that's what you have to think about. I did a little bit of just tiny financial planning. So just imagine if you invest enough and you have a property which brings you £500 a month and you have 10 of those, that will be £5,000 a month. And that is generally achievable even within 5 years of serious financial planning. Okay? Again, because of time, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. Okay. You should never be comfortable surviving on debt. I think we've already talked about this, and we've already talked about credit rating. Something interesting, actually, I wrote this down. I said some people have money. Some people are multi-millionaires. But you know what is funny? They cannot even take out a mobile phone contract in their name. Something as simple as a mobile phone contract, they will decline them. And that's the importance of your credit, because that is your identity. You must not let anyone mess about with it. Also, avoid buying things for your brothers, your sisters, your children, because half of the time most people have serious financial problems because they took out mobile phones for their children. They took out a phone and they weren't using it, so they gave it to their friend, and then the friend called the international number, bill of £500, and then their problem starts from there. Then it starts spiraling. There you go. If you have a mobile phone you're not using, break the SIM card and throw it away. Pay the exact amount you're paying every month until the contract runs out. Do not be tempted. Okay, I've done a lot of that in the past when I was at uni. I'll go to Orange, take out phone contract, sell the phone, go to T-Mobile, take out phone. You know, when we were at uni, we always wanted to take out 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 contracts. Then at the end of the month, debt collectors start chasing me. I was blacklisted for a very long time. I don't even know what is the easiest thing to get. I couldn't get anything. But I knew it was over because I had so much debt. So I was like, you know what, blacklist me, I don't even want it. So for 8 to 10 years, I couldn't get anything in my name. And I worked the way through all of that. I suffered it, but I worked the way through all of that, consolidated everything, paid it all off. And of course, I also had issues with business. So coming out of that, now, every time anything happens, I get an alert on my phone. Anything to do with my name or my credit, I get an alert straight to my phone. So even if you try to do a fraud on my name, I'm going to decline it. And that is how jealous you should watch your credit. Because it's really nice when someone like our bank manager there goes to the shop and then they're like, oh, your credit is good. Not the one who says, okay, let's try it. Oh, sorry, decline. Maybe you can pay cash for it. I mean, it's nice, you don't have to buy things on credit, but it's nice that when you need it, it's there to serve you. Have a credit file. There are a lot of them. I think the financial people can tell you a lot more about this. Open a credit file with any of these. Some of them are free, so you can monitor your credit. Because a lot of people also do not know if they have good or bad credit. They just know that they get declined all the time, but you don't know actually why you're getting declined. So again, the financial people can probably tell you a lot more about this. Okay. A lot of people are not successful in life because they do not have information. Not because they don't have money, not because they don't have an education, not because they don't have a PhD. It's because they don't have access to information. And that's why you see there's certain families in the UK and even certain families in Nigeria, they have what we call, some people call it a cult. It's not a cult, it's like a closely guarded group. Because they want to keep the wealth within the family. And for them to do that, whatever secrets they use to get those wealth, they want to keep it. They only teach it to their children, and the children to the children, and the children to the children. And you see some businesses, they'll tell you since 1665. Some businesses in 17 something, some businesses 18 something, and it's a generation of the same family. Why are they successful? Because they have access to information that we don't. That's the fact. Information that you don't. So we have to actively seek information. And then we have to sieve out which one is good and which one is bad. Don't go everything go plan and sinker. Okay? A lot of people do not like taking risks. For those who want to start a business, for those who want to improve their business, for those who want to go into along the business line, you have to take some sort of risk. However, you can reduce the amount of risk you take by working with people who have experience. I failed a lot in my younger years because I never listened and I never speak to people. But now I listen, I watch, I ask questions, and I take what we call calculated risk. Educate yourself, train yourself, and make yourself desirable. Another way of building massive financial income, like what he was saying, is getting yourself qualifications that can make you money. It's easy to get a cleaning job. It's easy to get a care job. But there's some positions out there that you can make something close to 6 figures if you position yourself, correctly. I had some of my friends that came the other day. They work in construction, and they're like, "Lake, we have some problem. The company we work for, they don't want to pay us. We know that you studied law. Can you help us write them?" I was like, "Okay, no problem. Why not? How much are they owing you?" "Oh, £6,000. "Huh? £6,000 from when to when?" "Yeah, I worked this last 3 weeks." I'm like, "Are you serious?" He said, "Yes." But when you see construction workers, they're very dirty, their shirt and everything, you think, "Oh, look at this guy." But there are certain professions, I don't want to be a construction worker when I'm 60. But there are certain professions that you can get into. You will get money. Whatever you do with the money is different. Like what he said, financial management. Those are things you can do even with your normal job. Project management. I have a cousin that earns £65,000 a year now. Project management. He had a master's degree, was on for 3 years, no job. But now he's done project management, he's making a lot of money. We have to think, educate ourselves. There are teachers that have trained in this school, they're going to Dubai, Qatar. They're making a hell of a lot of money. We have to educate ourselves and upskill ourselves in areas that are valuable. Okay? Because it's easier for you to work and get money than for you to borrow money. Okay? Finally, do not work with other people's timelines. Okay? We're all born on different days. We all grew up on different days. Do not say, Mr. Sheyi, it's got designer label. I have to get my own designer label. How can you have designer label? I don't have designer label. I'm working according to standard. I don't have any experience. I don't have any expertise. I might not have any skills. I might be preparing myself to fail. Think about what is relevant to you. What skills do you have? What knowledge do you have? What can you tap into? Do not keep following other people's journey. Okay? Your goals has to be specific to you as an individual. And finally, it's okay to make mistakes. A lot of people never do anything in their life because they are afraid that they will fail. It's okay to make mistakes, but you just have to take what we call a calculated risk. So if it's all the money you have saved up in your life, maybe you shouldn't put all of them into the investment. But if you don't try, you would never know what's going to happen to you. So you take a certain percentage of the money, you try it. If it works for you, then you can take the next step. Okay? And this is a very nice quote I brought up. Okay, no matter who tries to teach you a lesson about life, you will not understand it until you go through it yourself. I'm sure everyone in this room has made a mistake about something in their life, in their business, in their children, in their investments. But we learn from it, and we don't do the same mistakes again. Okay? Any questions? No?
One question. No.
No, that's good. I'm happy that we finished 15 minutes ahead of our program's deadline.
Can we have a copy of your first presentation?
No. It's not mine actually, so I'm probably not allowed to share it. So we'll be putting together another session like this.
Minimum age requirement for someone to attend.
To be quite honest with you, there is no minimum age requirement as long as, for example, if it's your son, you're here with him. Because I think it's important that we need to educate even our children as well for the future. The only thing is you as the parent have to be there. And a lot more things. So I'll be inviting again professionals to come in and talk to you. Because like I said to you at the beginning of the day, you know, I'm not getting any financial reward from this, and I'm not taking any financial reward from any of these professionals. Neither am I paying them anything to come and speak to you. The most important part for us is that the information is there, and then you make what I always call an informed decision. Because in life, when you have information, then you can't say, I don't know. When you don't have information, you can always hide behind the fact that, oh, nobody told me, oh, I don't know. But now you have information. You can share with your friends, your family, your children. Okay? So thank you all very much for your time. If you've got application forms that you haven't completed, please feel free to hand it in. The professionals are probably going to be here for another 15-20 minutes. If you've got more questions, please ask skills they have for your advantage. Because that's why they're here today. And if you're probably going to be meeting them in their office, you know, because of the time, we will not be able to cover that, but definitely for the next session, we will be looking into that. Okay? Because we have to give up this room at 6 p.m. Everyone happy? Thank you very much for your time.
So if you can pass the blue forms, please. The blue forms.